I think as an artist, you can build a relationship if you really get like someone that's really behind the band. Let's say some radio personality that has his or her own show that really plays every single track. Well, maybe you can contact the person on Instagram and send them a T-shirt and stuff like that. They will often appreciate that, and maybe even do an Instagram story of themselves wearing your T-shirt, and so you can build relationships. But I guess in order to get those relationships, you need to have the right people that present you to the media in the first place, and that comes back to having people that understand the music that you work with. So, for example, what we do on the radio side here is quite indie music driven. Can be more like hip-hop-ish, or it can be more rockish, but it is within this sphere of, let's call it, indie music. So when my business partner Jan, who's our main blogger, when he's sending out stuff to radio, they have a certain, like, they will listen to the stuff he sends because they know kind of what he represents. So if you were like a really mainstream pop artist, he would not be the right guy to send it to radio for you. So you need to find the right person to kind of be your door opener in the first place. I mean, obviously you have the big events here like Reeperbahn and such, and you do have the export offices like you guys that actually do help connect and network and open doors. So always make use of that and be active. Go out there and network. If you don't have a manager, be your own manager. Go to those receptions, even though it can be a bit awkward and stuff when you don't know anyone, but you will start knowing people. It's quite an informal business at the end of the day, and a lot of, decisions are also made on the human level. Okay, this seems like a sensible person, I like the music, so we can try working together. So make use of those things, network and connect with people, make use of the structures that you have at your disposal. But you can of course also do a lot with online research. So what I notice, also because I have my own little band that I've been doing during the pandemic and kept on going with, which has been healthy for me to just get a bit of hands-on experience again, is that there is this huge, within any genre it's a bubble, like within any market it's a bubble, so you can always look at like what are other artists that are doing the same kind of music that are maybe more advanced in this market than me, what are they doing, who are they working with. Usually people will be tagging their partners, they will be tagging the radio blogger when they do a post, if they've gotten some great playlisting and stuff. So you can actually, if you do a bit of research, you can actually map out, let's say, a lot of the actors. You just need to figure out who's the acts I should be comparing myself to on the market right now. I think there's a lot of sympathy for Ukrainian music right now. We've seen that at all the music events here this year as well. There's been a big focus, I think, from Waves to Reeperbahn. There's been a lot of focus in booking a lot of bands in Ukraine and showing sympathy for it. I'm not sure, like honestly, I think like the branding of music in the region is kind of, it's not negative, but it's maybe also not positive. It's more like a question mark. So I think there's still a lot of branding work to be done, which obviously, like if you take English music or Canadian music and stuff, they've had generations of export success. They've been doing this for like decades, and obviously there is some work to be done in that sense, branding wise. It doesn't have to mean anything, but obviously sometimes it can be easier to be the new hot thing from London than it can to be the new hot thing from Ukraine. But on the other hand, I think it is, in all the horror of what's happening right now, maybe one good thing is that there is this kind of goodwill and interest, and there's a lot of quality in Ukrainian music. So I think the most difficult thing is always to get people to listen, because they're just bombarded and flooded. It's like there's too much noise on all levels, with music. Whether it's all the new music released every single Friday or every single day on the big distribution services, and even if you get a track on a big playlist from a big digital streaming platform, what does it really mean? It's just like kind of background noise on the radio, and it's like actually getting people's attention is the hardest part, and